In this video, we're going to take a look at the Knees Over Toes guy and his diet. If you didn't know, the Knees Over Toes guy is an interesting strength and mobility coach on YouTube, and his channel's really been blowing up. When I first saw this guy, the first thing I noticed was that he is shredded. And I mean, this fella is shredded like mozzarella, to take a play out of Derek's playbook. But I wanted to know, what does this guy eat? Let's be real. Luckily, the Knees Over Toes guy has a blog post where he shares what his diet is. Now, when you look at this blog post, one of the things that becomes apparent is he doesn't want to push his diet on you, and he has a secondary part of this article written by a coach who advocates flexible dieting, which is do what works for you, and then he goes into what he actually eats. And what we can see is that he eats a very strict diet, meaning he basically eats the same thing every day. So if we look at his diet, what do we see? We see for breakfast, he eats 4 to 6 eggs cooked in butter. So that's maybe 600 calories or so, high in fat and protein. All right, let's look at lunch. He eats a pound of bison meat along with a chopped salad made of lettuce and non-starchy vegetables like carrots, cucumbers, and things like that. Now, a pound of bison meat is going to post up about 1,000 calories. Again, no starch, really no carbs here going on. So we see maybe 1,000 calories plus that salad for lunch. And then we get into dinner, which is going to be salmon and some steamed vegetables. If you look at salmon wild caught versus farmed, the calories vary a little bit, but we're looking at maybe 900, 1,000 calories here at dinner too. So we're putting this guy somewhere in between 2,700, 3,000 calories, give or take. He said he does allow for a snack of some berries in the evening if he's really craving, which you would make sense because if you're doing such a low carb diet and you want that little sweet fix, a few berries would be probably the way that a lot of these guys would go with something like that. So one other thing of note is he did say he does drink a small coffee, sometimes with cream. So there's the diet in a nutshell, and he said he never cheats. Now, if you look at something like this, the first question I have is, where do you come up with this? And how do you stay on it? Because I don't know a lot of guys who could stay on that diet in and day out the whole time. All right, let's get into where does this come from. And this is going to be somewhat speculative, but I'm going to offer my analysis. I've watched a few videos from the Knees Over Toes guy, and one of the things that he said is that he was heavily influenced by Charles Poliquin.
Like fully deep squats, which my original mentor, Charles Poliquin, believed was actually the #1 ab exercise.
First of all, Charles Poliquin, now deceased, is a very well-respected strength coach, and nobody can ever doubt that he was a master in that field. That being said, he has said a number of things about diet and nutrition which are not exactly in alignment with the science on diet and nutrition.
Soy feminizes the body. So you turn into a woman, even if you're a guy. Soy, if your goal in life is to have nipples the size of a frisbee, eat soy.
But that's okay, because big personalities say big things, and a lot of times selling a story and selling a lifestyle can still lead people to good results. It just may not be the best thing for longevity or for results depending on that person and their preferences. You have to understand that food preferences play a big role in your success or failure on any diet. So that brings us to, how do you stay on a diet like this? Now, I think the analysis I'll provide here is going to go into the mindset of somebody like the Knees Over Toes guy. You see, to have a mindset to do a diet like this all the time, you got to have that type A personality, lock in and do it because you want it that bad. Now, I don't have any doubts that you could get shredded on a diet like this. Where I have doubts is that most people probably can't eat that diet every day, all day, and stay on it. That's just my opinion of it. Now, maybe that's why he wanted to emphasize flexible dieting as a different opportunity. I'm fine with that. But, if you look at his blog post, one of the things that he shows is how he quit watching TV, didn't watch movies, didn't watch anything entertainment related while he got his company started. And really, for what he wants to do and the message that he wants to bring to the people about knee strength and stability, I respect that 100% because I see he's already worked with over 1,900 people. This is a guy who's really making his dream happen, and he's willing to do whatever it takes, but still recognize that the marketability of himself and his image and his brand really depends on things like being in good shape, things like having a ripped six-pack. We got to be honest, guys. It's part of the brand. It's part of what will make people like you watch his channel and want to know, what is that guy doing? So that's going to be my analysis on it. I'm not here to critique the guy in a negative way or drag his name through the mud. I just wanted to share my opinion on, and really share what he's eating, and then offer some opinions on maybe where that comes from, and is that something that most people can do? Now you know my opinion. Why don't you let me know your opinion down in the comments below.
And I had her lecture for my students, but she showed a lot of data, and then she showed, for example, blood work from vegans, and it's like horrendous. They're aging prematurely. But she showed a lot of data, and then she showed, for example, blood work from vegans, and it's like horrendous. They're aging prematurely.
Soy is very bad for you.
There you go again.